The people look at you differently as though they sort of listen to everything the media says and they sort of like blame the Muslims for everything, saying that the Muslims are actually terrorists and it's all Muslims. I think it's not really like fair because the people nowadays, they're starting to get used to the fact that it's not all Muslims and they're starting to treat you a bit better, but it's still the way that people look at you.
Well, my dad is 78 years old, and after 7/7 he rang me up and he said to me, son, he said, I think it's a bit dangerous getting the train, I'll get a cab from now on. Here's a chap who's nowhere near London. As far as I know, they've never had any terrorists or extremists on the Isle of Wight. But the effect on him was that it scared him enough that he didn't want to go on a train. And one of the most important things about that is that when we talk to people about terrorism, when I say we, I mean the police and government, is we need to include everyone. It's very easy to focus on one community and keep talking to that community in the belief that they're the ones that have the most influence on it. And there's a danger when you do that. The danger is then just everybody else thinks, like my dad, that terrorism is to do with somebody else.
Young people have passion, they have energy and they have ideas. While these strengths make young people a significant driving force in society, they also make young people particularly susceptible to negative influences. We all have a responsibility to listen to young people, to challenge negativity and to encourage positive pathways.
There are lots of ways young people can express their views and change things by going to meetings with other young people that share the same feelings, and they could organise meetings to go and see their local MPs. They could also speak to youth workers.
I think that people can be heard or bring about change by doing things like voting, protests, petitions and things like march.
There's lots of really good work that's being done by young people around the country where they're going out, not because anyone's told them to, not because government suggested it's a good idea or the police have suggested it's because they look round them and they're worried about and they're concerned about things that are happening in their community. And I think that if more young people do that, then there's an obligation on the police and government to come out and make sure that we listen to what you say.
We don't want to go back into those days where we lived in fear. We have got the rights. And naturally, I do believe that we also carry a lot of responsibility. It's not us and them, it's we. Sometimes we underestimate the youngsters. Elders have got a very dominating role in this because they always tend to undervalue the youngsters. So we've got to understand that the development within the youngsters is taking place much faster. And we got to adjust, we got to accept, and we got to respect that.
I do have some hope, right? It's not all about being depressed about it. And the hope I have is that people will start to come together, to start to make some of those challenges and to move away from kind of quick fix solutions. You know, we need to have projects, helplines, advice sessions, but I would say they need to be part of mainstream kind of work. Identifying anything or everything as being kind of just for Muslims would be problematic. We're not just talking about Muslim young people, we're talking about young people full stop.
Giving young people the chance to talk to each other and say how they live their lives and what is happening in their lives. And I think this will give them a stronger sense of identity and who they are and bring different cultures together. And I think that's very important.
If we still keep on running parallel lives and keep the different walls between us, they're not going to help us. We've got to respect our culture, each other's religion, and also each other's problems. We share the problems together, and the joys and the benefits of the, working together, living together, sharing together.
The hopes for the future, I would personally say, is a peaceful world, peaceful community, peaceful families. Nice and simple.
I think that it's the little things that count when we think about how we can all live together better. I think, like me, I smile at everyone I see, so if they look at me, I just give them a smile, A smile can spread, that's what people say, and that's exactly what we should do.